In this video, I want to show you one inherent weakness that no retirement calculator or retirement plan in the world can overcome. And the only way to resolve this is to actually understand how one event affects another in your retirement plan. So now, taking over from the previous video, assuming a life expectancy of up to 79 years old for you and your spouse, and you retire at the age of 55 with slightly more than $1 million in your retirement fund, the opening balance, and you have a withdrawal of about 78,000 a year, which is amounting to about 2,004 a month of expenses. And you have a balance after withdrawal of the opening balance, deducting your withdrawal. You have your balance after withdrawal, and this amount is reinvested for a very conservative return of about like 6%. And this return is actually added in for a closing balance. And in this example, we have assumed that in this exact column, you have a house, yeah. Let's say a lot of you maybe have a rental house, a rental income from property investment. You have property which generates for you a net rental of $800 a month, which amounts to $9,006 a year. And assuming that this rental income keeps coming in, so that is why this closing balance is already factoring in your investment return plus your whatever cash inflow, money inflow that you have over here. And let's just say for hypothetical cases, you actually liquidate this asset, sell this house at a price of $600,000 5 years from now. Now, the thing is, if it's not a matter whether it will or will not happen. It will happen, but it's just a matter of how. Let me show you. Let's say if your investment return, your investment return is to lose, let's say to lose 20% of its value, due to a market crash, and you never get out of the market fast enough. So let's say if you were to have this economic downturn where you lose money, you lose, let's say, about 200,000, and let's see how your entire retirement landscape will change. Now, the thing is, without losing this 200,000, 2 years from the onset of the retirement, assuming to this year you are 55, you would still have a leftover of about 373,000 at the end of your days. However, just by losing this amount, 200,000, at the onset, in the early years of your retirement, it says that you would have a deficit over here. For a lot of people, actually, during your retirement years where the money inflow is limited, when things like this happen, you lose money in your investment, you actually panic and don't know what to do. And this is not something you and I or any financial planner or even any retirement calculator can project or put into account, because these are real-time events that happens happens in real time, and you need to actually see where you can actually adjust this in order for you to still have enough retirement funds to sustain you until the end of your life. Now, before we go to that, we just want to say, I want to illustrate the sequence of these monetary losses. It actually matters a lot whether you lose this amount of money at the early years of the retirement or compared to the later years in your retirement. And this is very, very important because the sequence of the occurrence of this monetary loss matters a lot. And it impacts you the most during the start of your retirement, more than it impacts you at the late of your retirement. So, assuming that you don't lose your 200,000 over here. Okay, now it's back to what we have previously, and assuming that you lost 200,000 in a bad investment when you were like 72 years old. So if you key in here and we see how this whole thing's computes, see, it's slightly better than what we have shown over here when you lose money when you're 56 years old compared to when you lose this amount of money when you're 72 years old, assuming all other variables are the same. So the impact is less pronounced in the later years of retirement, because as you can see over here, you still have like 72,000 left. Okay, so this is to illustrate a point that I need to reiterate that again. The sequence of this money loss is very important. It impacts you most in the early year of a retirement than in the later years. So now I want to show you how you can actually plan for this. Okay, you're back to losing this amount of money, and you do not want a deficit over here. So where can you actually adjust your retirement expenses? Well, that is a good place to start. And I would say that right after you lose this kind of money, the best thing to note is you actually need to reduce your expenses the year after suffering this kind of loss. So whatever you change over here, it actually impacts whether you have a deficit or not at the later years of your retirement. Let's say this monetary amount is actually already assuming you have like 2,000 for a month of expenses, time multiplied that by 12 months, plus already 50,000, okay, 50,000 of travel budgeting already factored in. Means that you actually enjoy a very, very enjoyable lifestyle. You have allocated a budget of about 50,000 a year on top of your retirement expenses just to do leisure traveling. However, when you suffer this kind of losses, it's very prudent that if you cut back on your traveling, let's say, what will this impact? Well, how the whole retirement landscape turns out if you were to say you cut back on your 50,000 retirement post-retirement traveling budget. So if you cut back on traveling in this year, and you only have like 2,000 for expenses, times it with 12 months, okay, and see how this computes. Okay, so of course this formula actually computes all the way until the end, but we don't really need to use all this column. Let's say you just cut back on your traveling and you just live very frugal for the next 3 years. See how this turns out. Okay, you don't even want to increase your lifestyle, just live within your means, no traveling for the next 3 years. See how this turns out. And of course over here I would actually say that I would put this H9 over here. Okay, H9. So you cut back for 3 years, and then the 4th year you resume back your retirement lifestyle before you suffer that monetary loss. So see how this turns out. See, now you just cut back for 3 years. Okay, just let me highlight the 3 years, and on the 4th year, of course, this still you reinvest it for 6%. In the later module, we actually see how we can get a minimum of 6% very consistently and with high certainty. But anyway, just come back to here. We cut back your budget, no traveling for 3 years to recuperate the your monetary losses. Okay, and on the 4th year, you actually resume, factor in another 50,000 of travel budget on top of your expenses of 2,000 for a month. Okay, factor that in. Of course, you can reduce your traveling budget. Furthermore, you can tweak here and tweak that with this system in place. But it's just a very simple illustration saying that after suffering monetary losses, 3 years of cutting back, and what we have over here. Okay, you still have like half a million, more than half a million left when actually legacy to pass over to your children after you pass away. So with this system in place, you can actually see how just making a small adjustment over here impacts your whole retirement landscape. So in the next video, I'm going to show you more of the exact content of this course. I'm going to release more the exact modules that will be available in the retire method. This is Ching Fu. I'll see you again very soon.